Minasan konnichiwa, it's me Shogo.
And Harumi.
Guys, we're risping right now because Zen was actually sleeping at around what? Like was 5, 6 o'clock? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
asleep for about an hour, and because of that, we just put him to bed just about a couple of minutes ago. But he did not go to bed very easily, so he was crying for a while. If hears us talking, he might try to wake up and start crying again. So we're whispering a little bit, but we'll see how this goes. And another problem is that I'm actually going to be going over to Ibaraki Prefecture to do the filming with Six Sensei, Let's Ask Six Sensei, with Asayama Ichiden. You guys might know that I do another channel other than Let's Ask Shogo, where I introduce the techniques of Asayama Ichiden Ryu with Six Sensei. He sometimes uses different weapons to try out the techniques of Kobudo with other weapons like long sword, like Kima weapons and stuff. And it's a really cool channel. I really like that channel too, and the activities. And we have our online lessons and stuff. And speaking of online lessons, in about less than 20 minutes, the online lessons has to start. So I have to get going actually. But the problem is that because I'm going to be in Ibaraki from tomorrow and day after tomorrow, there's no other timing for us to record this other than right now. And even though we really wanted to try to start recording as soon as possible, Zen didn't sleep. So this is parenting.
This is parenting.
This
Yeah.
is parenting.
Real
everything,
life.
yes, everything you plan to do does not go well. Yeah, but I think this is really realistic. I mean, Shogun Haru's podcast, I mean, this channel, we really want to take it easy, kind of be really, should I say, close to you guys and showing you how we're actually surviving our everyday life kind of thing, Yeah. So speaking of today, by the way, we were over at my grandparents' house, which is in Kyoto. So their house has been there since I was a baby, basically. They've been living there for more than 20 something years, I bet. Yes. I mean, even my mother was living there, so even longer than that, actually, maybe 40 or something. Yeah. It's in kind of like the edge of Kyoto. Yeah, it's not that far away from the main city, Kyoto City, but yeah, it takes about what 20 something minutes, probably 30 minutes from the center parts of Kyoto kind of place.
By car, by taxi.
By car, exactly. So yeah, so we went over there. We wanted to, of course, show them their grandchildren. Yeah, because it's New Year's, but actual New Year's seasons, I'm really really busy in the tourism industry and everything, so we weren't able to go. And my grandfather actually said he caught a cold, so we had a different earlier day originally planned. I think it was like 11th or something. But we had to postpone it, so we finally went today. But it was nice though. Yeah, they looked healthy as always. Yeah, even though they're quite old, they're in their late 80s now. Yeah, they're quite old, but they're just living on just the two of them on their own. Yeah, it's still very healthy. They can still, of course, talk and have good memory and so on and so forth. So I think they're doing great. I think, yeah, they're very kind to you too. Yeah, that's another good thing.
Yeah, really thankful.
Yes, my grandmother made some okonomiyaki for us.
What's super good.
Yes, for lunch. Exactly.
And
that was great too.
Mashed potato salad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. So that was wonderful. Yeah, still very good homemade food that she makes. Yes. Beautiful. And yeah, so that was our day. Yeah, basically. And every time we record these podcasts, I want to have kind of like a theme to talk about.
Yeah.
And whenever, if you have a chance to think of a theme, it'd be great if you can bring a theme too. To have not anything to talk about right today. No idea. Yes, I have a long list of things that I want to talk about. But one of the things I had on my list, which I really hope I can try to wrap up as shortly as possible, it's about something I might have tried to make a short video, but I just thought maybe, well, no, I guess not, because there's not that many, what should I say, concrete information about, but I think it's on the title of today's podcast. But the creepiest part about Japan that I think I dislike the most. Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, if you've been watching my channel, Let's Ask Shogo, I've been talking a lot about the negative sides of Japan too. Yeah, because there's a lot of that too. Of course, every culture, nation, country has their negative sides alongside with their positive sides. And there's a lot of things that I mentioned before in the past, but there's one thing that I haven't mentioned before ever, probably nowhere. Yes, but still is really, really, from my point of view, is disgusting. Yeah, is the problem of, especially recently, older men, women, both actually are very, how should I say, they treat children terribly. One of the
Yeah.
incidents that happened a lot. Yes, I think in 2022 or
Mm,
three, there are more than 100 incidents that happened. Is
mm,
that when you have a baby, you
mm.
would carry them in these what should I say? You'd have these buckles, and you have this not a bag, but you have this like
Yeah.
I don't know how you call them. You hold them in this thing that you can
Carrier.
carrier kind of thing on your
Yeah,
body,
yeah, yeah,
on your
yeah, yeah.
back or in front of you, so you
To
don't
hold them, yeah.
you can use your hands freely. You would
Mm-hmm.
usually like tie it on the back, or there's like a seat belt kind of thing. You
Mm-mm.
would like put that together to
Sling, I think.
sling. You call it in English. I have
Yeah.
no clue. Please let us know in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
There are people, random people,
Mm.
who, like, for example, if you see them on the streets or on a train, for example, if
Yeah.
you're riding on a train and you're facing outwards, there's people who would take those, buckles or
Mm-hmm.
locks off. Basically, if you do that, of course, the baby's gonna fall, right? Because you're not holding your baby,
Yeah.
he or she is, in that carrier or
Mm.
sling, you call it, whatever. So that's super dangerous, right? So that incident actually happened about 100, in 1 year in whole Japan. That's just
Unbelievable.
totally creepy and disgusting. Yeah.
Disgusting, yeah.
The reason why, yeah, I can talk a little bit more. There's been incidents of people, for example, yelling at mothers who have strollers because of
Yeah.
course, they can't walk as fast as just a pedestrian. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course, obviously. Yeah, there have been old men yelling at them that they're taking too much space on the sidewalk or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they're too slow. Sometimes, like, for example, even pregnant mothers
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this key holder thing. There's these stickers that you can put on your bags or stuff
Mm.
to say that you're pregnant. So,
Yeah.
for example, if you ride a train or a bus, people can lend you your seats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might look pregnant, but it's
Mm-hmm.
really, it's for a person who's not pregnant and wants to share your seat, or lend the seat to someone. It's really
Yeah.
hard to say, are you pregnant? You can't go and ask that, right? It's a little bit weird too. So
Mm.
if you have that sticker or key holder on, it's a lot easier for people to be
Yeah.
to be friendly, or should I say to help out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who get really mad at these mothers who have these stickers, for example, or key
Mm.
holders. This we've talked about before when you
Oh,
were
really?
pregnant. Yeah, when you were pregnant, you talked a little bit about this, the things that you're worried about as a mother in being a
Mm.
mother in Japan. Yeah, there'd be people who are, for example, can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
So they get very angry at people who are, like, oh, you must be very happy with your life. Look at how miserable I am, kind of thing. And they start yelling and, applying violence to these people. Yeah. But
Mm.
yeah, so the things we
Creepy,
haven't
yeah.
talked about is the part I talked about at the beginning, people who take off,
Undo the
undo
buckles,
the
yeah.
bucklers.
Buckle?
Bucklers are shields. Yeah, buckles of the slings. Yeah, of the slings. Or
Yeah.
there are some men who are trying to steal babies from strollers too. That baby was
What?
saved, actually, but it was in Osaka. Yeah. So I think, and yeah, so getting to the point where the reason why these things happen, these
Mm-hmm.
incidents did not happen that often in the past.
Yeah.
But today, because there's less and less and less children in Japan, I've talked a lot about how the population in Japan is declining, how the population is aging, and all that kind of stuff,
Mm.
many times in my videos. And of course, that's still continuing. It's not going to be something that's going to be stopped immediately.
Yeah.
So there's less children, more elderly. Yeah, and elderly people, when they're the type of people who have not, what should I say, lived a life that they wanted to, I guess, and they're not too old to do anything. They just simply get very grumpy, and especially because in Japan, it's a very again, as I always explain to you guys, it's a hierarchical relationship kind of society.
Yeah.
So when you get older, people don't say anything to you anymore. That makes sense. So because of that, the older you get, even if you haven't achieved anything, people try to treat you, people like elderly or older people assume you to try to, what should I say, treat you nicely with
Yeah.
respect. Yes. So they get more and more, what should I say, out of control in a way. Yeah. So now there's these crazy elderly people in Japan who are very violent against babies who are innocent. They don't have they can't do anything back against you. Yeah, and I think that's really, really creepy about Japan. I don't let us know, guys, if this is something that happens overseas too.
Yeah, I want to know.
Maybe it's a characteristic that happens to people to humans in society that has a declining population, aging population kind of thing. But in Japan, it's a huge problem. Yeah, and what's even creepier, I personally think. Well, I mean, the internet is always creepy, to be honest, but it's always disgusting. But there are, of course, mother influencers who make videos talking about that you need to be careful because these incidents happen. You got to be careful of your slings. You don't want people taking them off. You got to be careful of your babies, stolen from your stroller, and all that kind of stuff. And there are people, of course, making content about it to warn other mothers and parents. But in the comments, there are always people who are like, "Oh, you guys are overreacting," No one would do that to a baby. And these people are obviously not parents.
Yeah.
Yes. That would never happen to you. How would you know what would happen to a baby when you don't have a baby? Yeah. And there's always people like, "Oh, you're overreacting. You're causing a chaos by sending out false information."
Yeah.
There's always like people, or you're making so much drama out of something that's so small. Like. It's a life of your baby. Of course, you need to be as cautious as possible, right? And this whole, what should I say? I don't know. This whole scene that's been created with all of these incidents happening, and the actual incidents happening, and then the information on the internet that's going on and everything, and all the comments and the communication happening because of these incidents. It's just, as a whole, it's just really, really disgusting from my point of view. Yeah, I really cannot believe how, what kind of life would you be living to go up to a baby, a newborn baby, and to an innocent mother, that you have never talked before, know anything about them, and you want to try to do something that would kill that baby. What kind of mental state would you be in to be able to do that? I mean, I just can't even imagine, to be honest. Yeah, so the mother who almost got her baby stolen from her stroller. Yeah, there was a man that was just going to work, community to work, and he was able to help her out. Yeah, he went in and he was like, "What's going on? Please don't do this." And yeah, the old man had to leave. Yeah, so that was really, really good. Yeah. I'm very happy to know that there's some good people in Japan too. Yeah, exactly. But that's something I wanted to share with you guys. I tried to make a YouTube short about it, but again, I was expecting a lot of a lot of creepy comments probably from Japanese people again, which I always get. Yeah, so like, "Oh, that's that show was lying about Japan again." There's always hundreds of people coming to me and saying all these stuff.
So disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. I do my research. And I am a father myself. I say these things from my own experience, from what I've heard as a father, as parents, from my community, and there are people who come up to me and say that I'm lying, even though they're not even parents. Yes. Yeah. So, in the end, of course, there's no concrete information about these. There's no fixed data about all of these kind of stuff. So I was like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't just talk about this." I mean, talking about this itself is already really it's not a really positive thing. So I just wanted to, but still, I wanted to share it somewhere. Yeah. And I thought this podcast would be a good place to talk about it. To kind of to finally relieve a little bit of my the stuff that was on my shoulders, I guess I would say. Yeah, it's just another side
creepy,
of another side of Japan that definitely needs to be discussed, and also has to be a lot more that needs to be done to prevent it. Yeah. So recently, a lot of the slings that are made recently are actually, they don't have the bucklers in the back.
Yeah, I had that one.
Yeah, the ones that we had, we kept our kids and didn't have a lock on the back where you can't see, or where other people can't touch. Well, our ones were actually just simply made from what do you say? Rubber, not rubber, but
our one is the buckler is front side.
On the front side, yeah. So unless the people come to your front side, try to take it off, that'd be really awkward. Yeah, they won't be able to take anything off, right? Yeah. So exactly.
But the reason why really hard to put off.
Yeah, it's really
a take off.
Yeah, it's really hard to take off. So, but we bought that one on purpose, right? Because we heard of those rumors.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you haven't actually experienced anything like that before, right?
No,
right? Yeah.
That is, I think, the specific examples.
Yeah.
Not that often,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah, yeah.
but it's too often to.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
100 incidents
100
is
incidents.
very, very weird.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
super.
if you think that 100 babies could have died from those that happened, I mean,
Unbelievable.
yeah, that is really unbelievable. Yeah, it's obviously not the same person, by the way. You know,
Sure,
the same
yeah.
person can't go all around Japan, trying to kill babies in different places in Japan, right? How bored can you be to do that? Or in a way, how busy can you be to do that?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's
So
true, yeah.
exactly. So I'm really glad that we hadn't Hadami did not have to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the
Thankfully,
worst you've probably experienced is people not lending you any seats on buses, even though you're obviously carrying a lot of luggage and a baby.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, but that's like, well, people are
It's
just
okay.
very selfish. I mean,
Everyone is real tired. So.
yeah, but that's still, I understand if you're if you're really exhausted, or you might be, for example, injured, or like, for example, probably our son fell off the bed or something. We don't actually have a bed; it's on a stone, but the stone is a little bit slightly higher from the floor, so the stone doesn't get what's the word I'm looking for? Kabi. The word doesn't get off. But anyways, it doesn't get any stains or stuff, Yeah. But anyways, so again, I have to move on to the online lessons in about 3 minutes. I have to get going, actually, unfortunately. Yeah, so we were only able to record about 15 minutes today, but I guess it'll be enough for this week. Yeah. So like this, we'll try to think of a theme that I want to share with you guys. I really want, of course, at the same time, we want to, of course, share our how we are, naturally in our daily lives, and how we're spending, time and stuff. But at the same time, though, we do want to kind of discuss stuff that's, not just useful, but simply topics
real
that we can, talk about. Yeah, real life in Japan, stuff that might be a little bit hard to make into a proper YouTube short or a full video, but still I want to discuss kind of stuff. We'll keep on talking like this. So, or simply stuff that we experience through our trainings and the world of traditional culture and stuff like that. So yeah, I think, Harumi actually took her final exam to become a kimono dresser, I guess. Kimono dresser, you would say. Kitsukeshi.
Kimono dresser? Kimono teacher?
Kimono instructor.
Kitsuke teacher, yeah, instructor.
Yeah. I mean, you know how to put it on yourself, you know how to put a kimono on other people, and you know how to teach other people to put kimono on other people, right? Yeah. So once we confirm that Harumi has passed his exam, we can probably talk a little bit about that too. Yes, what kind of year you spent, what kind of training you did, and all that kind of stuff, and how. And a lot of people probably don't know why it would take like an year to learn that. I mean, it's clothes, right? You're putting on clothes. Why would it take a whole year to do? I think a lot of people won't know about that. So I think that could be like a topic we could talk about. Okay. If you can take a memo of that too. I have a long list of stuff we can talk about.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Then guys, thank you so much for your time. We'll be talking with you again next week. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.